ISE is a program that allows students to use the language that they have learned in the classroom. So it is an extension of what they are learning, but also they can learn it in a setting that is very, very natural.
ISE has a different philosophy. ISE wants the students to be students of the culture and not tourists taking in the culture. They are students that are living the culture, and I like that.
ISE is a company that does distinguish itself as being different from others because it is a nonprofit organization. So their resources and monies are going to go for the benefit of the students and not to make money for the company itself.
There are a lot of reasons why I travel with ISE rather than other companies. I've traveled with other companies and just have not had the great experiences that I have had with ISE. With ISE, everything is very organized. The teachers and bus teachers and the whole staff are very professional. There's support throughout the whole year. And while we're here, the students have just so many activities and so many things to do and so many suggestions for things for them to do that there's never any downtime.
The ISE program is something that we've really had to prepare for, and that was one of the many things that our seniors have done very, very well.
We had prepped them. ISE sends wonderful information. They give us a whole packet of things to discuss with them.
The other thing that they did a lot was give us cultural packets where we learn what kind of people, the kinds of customs that they have, and also the food. And for the most part, all of that's been very, very true and very, very helpful.
We had so much opportunity to think about and talk to the kids about what they were going to experience when they came here. And they were scared about meeting new people and being away from home, but they have been welcomed so openly by these people. They are just ecstatic here. What we love about the ISE Family Stay program is that all of our students are really experiencing life in a foreign culture, a different culture. They're interacting with kids their own age, they're speaking their language, they're experiencing new foods.
Some of the things that the students are able to do on the trip that you definitely cannot replicate in the classroom is that they're able to be immersed in the culture. The culture is all around them. And another thing too is that the language, to hear the language around them, to be able to use the language with native speakers, this is just something that just cannot be duplicated in the classroom.
Es muy pequeño, es muy chico.
Muy chico.
Sí. No es como aquí.
A nosotros 7 hermanos.
Ay, Dios.
Imagínate.
Es muy grande.
Sí. Cada hermano
no,
ya
bueno, me
casado.
imagino eso.
No hay televisión.
Coming here, I was really excited. It was like, oh, it's gonna be really easy. I'm doing fine in Spanish class. But then 5 minutes before we arrived at our homestay family houses, I was like, I'm horrible at Spanish. What am I gonna do? Like, this is gonna be so hard.
The first night it was a little awkward because I didn't really know anything about them. I didn't really know what to say to them.
Hola, Hilary.
Hola.
Yo soy Margarita. Bienvenida a la casa. Gracias. Te voy a mostrar tu habitación, aquí arriba.
Obviously, the biggest challenge is always the language barrier because you never really know what to expect. Like, am I going to understand them? Are they going to understand the Spanish that I'm trying to use?
Everyone I've met so far is incredibly understanding. Even if they have to like repeat a question 3 or 4 times, I eventually get it. My Spanish has improved like so much.
Perfecto. Cuando llegues tú le vas a decir a tu mamá, yo voy a cocinar.
I thought there was going to be a huge language barrier. They wouldn't be able to understand me, I wouldn't understand them. But once I got used to the speed of their speech, it was a lot easier and we were able to communicate really well.
Sobre todo las de Tom Cruise. ¿Ya viste alguna de Tom Cruise?
Sí, sí, sí.
La de Misión Imposible.
Oh, me gusta mucho.
¿Sí?
También la comida aquí me encanta. La comida mexicana es picante a veces, pero realmente me encanta todo aquí.
¿Cuánto costaría un kilo de tomates?
Un kilo de tomate como 8 pesos.
Sí, en los Estados Unidos no usamos el kilo, usamos la libra.
La libra, okay.
Sí.
Mi parte favorito era la estancia familiar porque me gusta estar quedar con la familia y vivir su cultura. Era muy divertido y diferente y hablar español con la familia todo el tiempo es muy difícil, pero aprendí muchísimo.
Akumal is kind of like a little paradise in Mexico. In our little casita, a little bungalow, we're about 100 feet from the water where we can swim and play frisbee. There's a nice breeze coming off the ocean, and it's not quite as hot as it is in the rest of Mexico. In the bungalows, there's air conditioning and nice showers, and it's just absolutely perfect.
Nos encontramos en el remate.
¿Qué es el remate? Explícalo.
Ok, es una noche mexicana que se pone todos los fines de semana para gente extranjera que viene de otros países a nuestra tierra.
Sí. Me gusta la música. ¿Qué es?
Sí, es música yucateca de nuestro estado, típica.
Sí, no tenemos la música en los Estados Unidos.
Me encanta la comida, más de todos otros. La comida tiene mucho sabor y muy diferente de comida en América, pero me gusta mucho.
So we had the chance to visit the school to answer questions. They asked us about our traditions back at home, what we like to do. We also got the chance to try to teach them slang. Okay, so sweet. Todos entienden eso, ¿no? Sí, es como dulce en español literalmente, pero en este caso significa muy padre también, algo muy bueno, me encanta esto. Sí. Sweet.
Wicked cooler.
Sí, la verdad, wicked cooler es más mejor, pero es todo.
In the rural areas, we were able to see the real life of these people and how they make their livelihoods, making different artisan crafts such as the alebrijes, the wooden carved animals, the black pottery, the woven fabrics that they make. It all ties into a wonderful history of the people. It also tells a lot about what they find enjoyment and how they make their living.
One of the things that we're expected to do down here in Mexico is to speak Spanish all the time while we're with our families, while we're down in the town, while we're on the buses and the taxis.
In our Spanish classes, most of the time you only get to hear your señora speak. And coming down here to Mexico, we've really been able to pick up a lot more of the language because we're hearing other voices, other people speaking it to us.
¿Tienes sabritas?
Sabritas no.
No. ¿Dónde?
Más adelante.
Gracias.
¿Sabe dónde están las sabritas?
¿Las sabritas?
Sí.
Para 4 puestos. 4.
Gracias.
It's a great challenge and experience for us to be immersed in the language, and being immersed in Spanish language helps us with our vocabulary, with our understanding of the language. We're able to comprehend it much, much better than we would back in the U.S.
Sabritas.
Sabritas, aquí están.
Muchas gracias.
Our main goal was for the students to really have the opportunity to practice their Spanish outside of the classroom, to really experience the culture as opposed to traveling through different places on a bus. That wasn't for us.
Pan de yema. Esta noche si toman ustedes chocolate, un chocolate criollo, todos reciben una hogaza y pueden agarrarlo y meterlo en el chocolate para tomar. Es muy rico. Todos, aquí están los chapulines. ¿Quién quiere probar un chapulín? En la boca, sí, y cómelo.
Uxmal was definitely by far one of the highlights of our trip so far. The tour guide told us a great story about how one of the dwarfs from the Mayan civilizations and his mother, the witch, had created the temple in one night. Therefore, it was called the Magician's Temple. Then there was the governor's palace. The carvings on it, I think he said there were upwards of 20,000 carved blocks on the sides of it.
We went swimming in the cenote yesterday, which was pretty sweet because it's like an underground river, and it was all like carved in limestone, which is a pretty hard rock, so probably 50 meters underground. And we had to, or we didn't have to, but we got to jump off the really high cliff into the water, and that was pretty invigorating.
Chichen Itza was like this massive Mayan city. I think it was 10 square miles. And right when you walk in, there's just this massive pyramid, and all the sides face directly north, south, east, and west. We went to the ball court. I think it's the biggest one in Mexico. 7 players on each team. And one of the teams, they're not really sure, but at least one player was sacrificed at the end for the gods, decapitated actually.
My favorite thing that I've done since I've been in Mexico was probably climb the Pyramid of the Sun.
Steps are really steep, but when you get to the top, it's most definitely worth it. It's a great view. You can see all the other Aztec ruins and everything.
I would definitely recommend the ISE program. I was nervous about the homestay portion at first, but like you get to meet a whole new family and a whole new way of life, and it's really interesting.
I would absolutely recommend ISE to a colleague. They do an excellent job of planning out different activities from the beginning of the day to the very end. They're very informational. The students get to participate in real life experiences where they don't have that opportunity in the classroom, and overall it's just been a very good experience for me, and I will use them in the future.
Yes, I definitely recommend this program to a friend. It's lots of fun, we do everything. The family part, I didn't think it was going to be that much fun, but right now it's the most fun part of the trip.
It will impact them tremendously. They're already talking about inviting their sisters and brothers over for a visit and showing them what they have in our country, in the United States. The Mexican people have been so warm and welcoming. These kids just love their families to death. They were talking about it today, coming over here. They were just so happy. Oh, your mama is so cool. She gave you so many good things. Oh, wow, how did she think to do that? I just love your mama. I love my mama. She takes care of me so much. She's done so much with me. My brother and sister take me all over the place, show me things. They're just ecstatic. They're so thrilled with this whole experience.